Tam Talks explores life, spirituality, and general weirdness through quirky storytelling and laughter, lighting you up in your life journey. Let's go! Well, hello everybody, Tamiah here. I am going to do a podcast on video as well. So I'm thinking about fun ones. I try to keep the lineup kind of mixed up so that it's not just one topic, but it's funny topics. And then there's like spiritual ones, and then there's all the things. So this one is going to be funny. And this is actually in my book as well. I should have went and like reviewed how I wrote it, but whatever, we're just going to go with it. So, okay. To give you a little bit of like backstory and context. So this would have been, so I was married for almost 10 years, and then in that relationship for almost 15 years. And then I called that off. We separated, went our own ways. And then I, like, in that year period, I like went on the dating apps. Oh my God. Dated a couple people, had like a disastrous story, which I'm not going to do that one today, but I'll do like another fun little one. So there were a couple of little fun occurrences. And this is also when my boys were going with their dad. So they would go and hang out like for a few hours. I think it was like once a week or something on a weeknight. So I had very little time to myself to date. So I had to schedule it and be really mindful of where and who and all that. Like just, anyway, so, okay. So this one, I matched with this person. So I was kind of like not seriously dating, but I'm thinking, you know what, it would be nice to find someone. So anyways, I look back and I think, oh my gosh, I'm such a fool. Like, I'm so different now, and I don't think I would have done as many things, but that's the power of living and learning and growing, all that. So don't judge me or judge me, whatever. So I met this guy. So I'm swiping away and I see this guy and I'm like, whoa, he looked like not Nick Lachey now, but Nick Lachey 10 years ago. Like, not that there's anything wrong with Nick Lachey now, but very, like, just really good looking, really good looking. So we agreed to meet up at a mall in like Etobicoke because I think he was from the east end of Toronto and then I was in Milton at the other time. So that was kind of like the halfway point. So we meet up, and also I'm like always thinking to be safe and, you know, like in public places in case people aren't who they say they are, all that stuff. So anyways, we meet up, we walk around the mall and we're just chit-chatting, and he was very, like when I look back now, he was very immature. But so, okay, wait, let me rewind again. So on these dating apps, I can't even now, like I swear every, I don't know, 9 months to a year, I'm like, oh, maybe I should. And then I like create a profile and then I last maybe an hour and I'm like, delete. So this is back like, how many years ago would this be now? Probably, oh my gosh, no. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is like 9 years ago. 10. I'm just trying to do the math of like how long I've been single, how long I dated that person. So yeah, I think this is about 10 years ago now. Oh my gosh, time flies when you're having fun. So I remember like the endless swiping and all that with the apps. But when I matched with this guy, he was very like outgoing and quick and like, okay, well, do you want to meet up? And I'm like, yes, because I don't like the endless messaging and the, like it's so time consuming, the swiping and then the matching and then all of the things. So anyways, I liked it because we were only chatting for a few days, I believe. I don't even remember. Now I know why I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago. So anyways, so when we decided to meet up, it was perfect because like I said, we met at a mall, blah, blah, blah. So we meet up, we walk around. He's kind of immature, but then he was kind of fun too. So I'm like, that's okay. This is nice. So anyways, we kind of kept talking after that little date. I probably should have no, I'm not even going to judge myself. Anyways, I just remember thinking that it was hilarious because we were in, I think, like the Bay or something, like one of these big department stores, as we were saying our goodbyes. No, actually, I don't think we were leaving yet. I don't know what we were doing. Anyways, he smacked my butt. I was like, oh my God. And I'm thinking he just did this in the middle of like a department store. And oh my gosh. Anyways, which is funny because who cares? It's just a public display of affection. But in my mind, I'm like, I've just met this guy and he just smacked my butt. Anyways, so we continued talking after this and then decided to go on a legit date. So then again, I should have noticed, but he was like, do you want to come to the city? Because he didn't have a car. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Because I'm thinking, oh, he lives in the city. I know lots of people who don't have cars in the city. Again, not judging, right? So we coordinate it so that it's going to be one of those evenings that my boys are with their dad. And so then timing wise, where I used to live, you could make it downtown in like 45 minutes, I would say, if the traffic was clear. And then if there's traffic, a little bit longer, maybe an hour and a half or something like that. But again, I didn't do that commute a lot, so whatever. So it was like a Wednesday night or something, and I was going into the city, so like traffic would be coming out. So I had this window, like the boys got picked up, I think it was at like 5 p.m. or something, and then would be dropped off by 8 or 8:30 p.m. So like looking back, I would never do that now. Doing the math, I'm just thinking no, because I wouldn't want to rush through dinner. Like I would want to hang out and connect with this person and not worry like, okay, I've got to get back in time, especially it's Toronto. So but apparently not. Apparently at that point I was like, he is really cute. He looks like Nick Lachey. I got to get there. I don't know. Anyway, so hop in my car and I start driving down. Don't I hit like nasty traffic that I have never experienced. So universe was like, you need to go back home. Nope, this one's very stubborn. So I kept going. And so then he messages, or I don't know what the communication method was, but he was at this like pub or something. So I don't know if where we were going to meet because I was late because I was stuck in traffic. He went to this pub. So I thought, okay, that's cool. Like we'll just go there. So I finally get there and I think it was like 6, like it was after 6. And in my head, I'm like, if I have to be back for my boys for 8:30 and I just hit that much traffic, then I wanted to know in my head that I would leave by 7. So here we are, and I've got like an hour or less with this date. So the guy, I park, I go in, and then he's like, okay, well, do you want to go to this other place for dinner? And I'm like, well, I only have an hour, but if you think it'll be fast enough, sure. So he's like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. So we hop in the car and in traffic. So we're driving and he proceeds to tell me about how he's looking at something he was purchasing off of someone, off of like, I don't know what it was, like Kijiji or one of those things. And he was like, yeah, so I'm going to meet up with that person and look at that. And I was just like, okay, cool. And then meanwhile, he's like mixing in stories about how he got pissed off at something and took his cell phone and threw it at his $10,000 television and shattered it. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what? So I'm driving downtown Toronto in back, like bumper to bumper traffic with this freaking lunatic next to me telling me how he basically has a crazy temper. And I'm like, but he's cute. Anyway, so I'm kind of like, okay. And I'm like, so I don't hold back. And I'm just like, why would you throw your phone and like you broke, like, why? Because you couldn't control your temper. So, anyways, so we're just like chit chatting away. Meanwhile, we're like at a snail's pace. So in my mind, I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking like, I think it was probably 6:30. And I'm like, what? So I'm trying to calculate in my brain, what am I going to do here? Well, so then he's like, oh, do you think we could just stop at a bank machine quickly? And I'm like, I guess so. So there was a gas station. I feel like I can still see it on Spadina. And I was like, oh, I know it's there. So we pull in there. He goes in and he comes out and he's like, oh, I couldn't get it from there. Or I don't know what the hell, why. So anyways, I'm like, okay, well, where are we going? Like, how far is this place where we're going to go eat? And he was like, well, do you mind if we just stop somewhere first? I just have to pick up something. And I'm like, what? Am I an Uber driver? Well, at the time, am I a taxi driver? So I'm thinking, I'm just like, I guess so. And in my mind, I'm thinking, and it was down on like Harborfront. So in non-traffic, it would take maybe like 10 minutes to get there. And in traffic, who knows how long. So as we're driving, he's talking, and I'm just like, this guy is a lunatic. Like, lunatic. He is an adult. And I don't know. So I would have been late 30s. I think he was mid 30s, mid to late 30s as well. Anyways, so we're driving. We get down to Harborfront finally, and he's like, okay, I just have to go in here and get money from this bank machine, and then we're gonna go. So, and I'm like, pardon? I'm like, what? Okay. So he goes in and to get money or meet the, I don't even remember at this point, but he went to do whatever. And I'm sitting there in the car and I'm thinking to myself, what the heck am I doing? I've just driven over an hour in traffic to meet this person. My boys are going to be dropped off at home at 8:30 at night. He clearly has no respect for me. He thinks I'm a taxi driver. And here I am, just letting it happen. So I remember messaging my one friend and I was like, oh my God, you won't believe this. And like I was giving her the updates and then, but she didn't get the messages. She hadn't responded yet. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I think I need to leave. I think I need to leave. So I look up, I remember I still have my same car now. And I look up and I had like kind of pulled around. So I was facing so that when we would leave, we would just pull out onto the road. I look up and there's like traffic lights and there's a sign that says QEW or Gardner Expressway West, which is home. Like that's how I would get home. And I was like, yes. So I started the car. I look and I'm like, nope, he's in there. I freaking went. I just left him there. I'm looking at the time and I literally just started smiling and laughing. And I'm like, I just took back a piece of me because who does that? Who does that to another human being? That was so horrible. So anyways, I'm driving on the highway and I'm like, yes, like this is, I mean, oh, it was so good. It was like, I feel like it was one of those points in my life where I leveled up. My book's all about worthiness. So I feel like that was this big step of me going, no, I am not accepting that treatment. So I've got the music cranked and I'm driving on the highway. Well, doesn't my phone just start blowing up? Like text messages and it's like he's calling and and I'm thinking, I'm not doing any of that. So when I could respond safely, I basically said, yeah, no, sorry, I had to go. Like I have people who value me and whatever I said, it was just a really short and sweet. And then like, I think I blocked him. Anyway, so my friend who I had texted, she called and was like, okay, like what's going on? And so I told her and I'm just like, I'm driving. Of course, this is hands-free, everybody. So I'm like, I'm on my way back home because like, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. It was so cool. It was so empowering. And I made it back in time to meet the boys, of course. But the funny part was I was so engulfed in this conversation and we were like excited. And my friend and I were just like, yes, like, this is it. People don't treat me like that. Screw that. I missed my exit, like my home exit. And if you know Milton at all, I missed not one, but two of the Milton interchanges. So I had to go up to Campbellville, turn around and come back, which was like an extra maybe 10 minutes on the highway. But it was just funny that I was like, oh my gosh, well, if I did that and didn't have the time, but I do have the time. So Anyways, I love that story. Because it's just like I said earlier, it was like a piece of me that I took back, and I was like, no, people don't deserve to be. And maybe he learned something from that. Maybe he didn't. Who knows? He was really cute, but not for me if you're going to treat me like that. So, anyways, that's that. Peace out. Thanks for hanging out and listening to my wild and wacky Tam Talks. Follow Tam Talks to be notified of new episodes. Peace out.